Mindful we might have a lot to come in this morning, so undisturbed if someone comes through. Okay, we're going to start seated. So if you want to have a cushion or your blocks as a little seat underneath you, if you wish to. No worries if you are happy on the floor, it's fine. But just any comfortable starting posture. And Diane, just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Is that all right? Great. Just bringing the back of the hands to the knees, so palms are open. Just rooting into the sit bones and elevating height through the spine, softening the shoulders down without forcing or placing them in any particular way. Just let them land wherever they fall. Lengthening through the back of the neck, as though you could create a bit of space between the top of the spine into the skull. Good morning. Take your time. Softly closing the eyes if it's comfortable, or you can keep your gaze to a spot on the floor if that's easier. Easing as we start to settle into the practice, that's fine. And just see if you can lift your focus to the space at the center of the forehead, into that third eye space. Notice if that allows you to relax the muscles around the eyes. Clearing space on a physical level, clearing space on a more mental, emotional level. Consciously slowing down the breath, so the breath is a bit more intentional. Just noticing the sensation of your breath trickling through the nose and all the way down into the lower space of the abdomen. And keeping the height of the spine as you exhale, so you feel belly and ribs draw back in towards the center line, towards that deeper. You let your mind settle into your body and your body settle into the space that you're in. Just notice if you can soften any sense of holding around the body. Maybe around the hips could just drop a little easier. Be around the shoulders, maybe they've sneakily crept back up again. The jaw, the forehead. In Forrest, we have this term, energetic composting, which I love very much. We use the practice to compost our life experiences, our memories, or things that have happened to us. So even if they're positive or negative experiences, we can compost them so we keep the goodness of each experience. We can use parts of every experience. Using that practice to find the space, the strength, and the grounding in every part of us, every part of our existence. Yeah. Anna Forrest even says that you use your own shit to fertilize that compost. You just keep adding to this compost pile, making it richer and more full of life, more full of you. So maybe there's something in your mind or in your body today that needs a bit of composting. Bring the hands together at the heart center. Take a full deep breath in. As you exhale, just gently bowing the head towards your hands, towards yourself. And then bring the spine back up straight. I'm going to take the left knee over the right for Gomakasana. You can stay on your blocks if you want to, crossing them. If Gomakasana feels a little bit too strong in the hips, it's a tough one to get straight into. And feel free to keep the foot just in front of the shin or cross-legged with the left leg in front. If we can, we're stacking the knees and then bring your feet as far away from the body as you can. Good. The right arm is coming into the cactus position, so elbow in line with shoulder, and push the elbow forwards and the back of the hand back behind you. Let the head drop across towards the left shoulder, and just let the left hand reach out to the side. So you're just left lightly resting into the fingertips. Now let the head completely hang, like the head is fallen asleep. If you can sense the upper arm bone reaching further away from the shoulder, so creating space there. If you want to, you can just softly move the head or the arm into any placement that offers more opening into the side of the neck, wherever you need that to be today. And when you have a good juicy stretch, just hold into it. Allow the jaw to relax. Notice again into those tension points that creep back in, the shoulders, the jaw, and the forehead particularly. Allowing the breath to ease into that area. As you inhale, lift the right hand towards the ceiling, and exhale, bring it over into more of a side opening, so it reaches out. Use that left palm to stay glued to the floor of the block with that right sit bone that maybe want to lift off a little bit. Now physically feel the breath move into that right side of your rib cage. And notice if perhaps you can create a bit more space in the left side of your rib cage as well, so lengthening that underneath side of the torso. Yeah, good. If you breathe in, lift the torso all the way back up again. Let the head come on top last, so we're just keeping the neck fairly soft as it comes up. Good. Staying with this left leg on top, going to bring it more into firewall, as Forrest calls it. So the ankle on top of the knee and knee on top of the ankle. So your underneath foot will need to wriggle forwards a little bit. So bird's eye view, you'll see a triangle with the legs. It's okay if your knee is up by your head. Up here. You can either support it underneath if it feels too tight. Use the hand to encourage it down. Another option is to use a block in front of the underneath knee, your right knee, and just take the ankle forwards. It'll just feel a little bit more forgiving on the angle of the hip. So take what you need from the variations. Good. Again, option if it just feels too strong, to have the ankle in front is fine. Good. Well then, Jackie, if you want to place a block under that thigh, if you want to use a kind of block. Good. Okay, so from here we'll take a twist. So you're going to bring the arms over towards your left. Maybe the wrist or the forearms to the left as it presses into the top sole of the foot. So turn towards, oh sorry, your right. Sorry, you change the direction. And then leaning over, so the head is softening down towards the floor. So don't worry if your hand doesn't quite meet the foot, that's okay. It's thinking that sort of direction. If it does meet, then you press them together slightly. So encourage more opening into the leg. Yeah, that's it. And some of you that can go a little bit deeper this morning, maybe bring the elbow to the sort of full expression is the triceps and sole of the foot. Yeah, nice juicy bit of resistance into it. Good. It's a strong one, so strong breath to match it. Wriggle, yeah. So exhaling, feel the lower abdominals drawing in without trying to particularly manipulate it in any way. Just notice kind of how the floor lifts at the end of the exhale. Finding some internal space. One more deep breath where you are. And slowly bring the torso back up straight. Take your time to untangle the legs, both feet to the floor. And do some WD-40, give the knees a little wriggle side to side. Okay, so then other side, you have two legs to do, lucky you. Bring the right leg on top or in front, and same option to apply with this Gomakasana. So you can take the and do cross leg with the right leg in front. That's just a little bit easier into the hip. So starting with the leg over even further. You can on that first one. Go to the floor. Yeah, good. That's it. And then you start to kind of wriggle the feet open up, or tighten the knots with the legs tighter. If the left arm comes into cactus, press the elbow forward and the back of the hand back. So you feel your shoulder blade, you push into the back of the ribs. Good, then drop the head of the shoulders further down, that's it. And think the upper arm bone pulling away. It might not physically move, but you just create that sense of direction. Drop the head across towards the right shoulder. And again, just let the head go really heavy. You're not holding it in any way. Keeping the lips slightly closed, but there's some space between the back teeth, so the jaw is relaxed. You can softly just move where the arm or the head is until you find that sweeter spot to stretch into through the side of the neck. And then taking a really deep breath, so the breath sort of nurtures into that area. As you next inhale, lift the left hand to the ceiling, take a breath in. Exhale, taking it over towards the side opening. Good, so leaning into that right hand that's on the ground and use that hand to push the left sit bone back into the floor if it's trying to lift up. Feel the breath moving to left side. See if maybe we can lengthen just a nudge more space in the underneath side of the torso, so the ribcage lengthens. Good, really nice. As you breathe in, lift the torso back up, let the head come on top last and the arms float down. Good. We come out of this one, but it doesn't particularly get any more sweet coming to the final. So again, we're aiming for shins to be stacked. Option to have the block underneath your top foot, so we can shift it forwards a little or cross-legged again. We are aiming, if you're there and it's feeling okay, to take the ankle, excuse my rubby feet, what am I doing this morning? Ankle over the knee, so go further across and go underneath foot forwards a little bit, flexing both feet and then lifting tall into the spine. So the weight of the sit bones comes forwards, which will help to align the thigh bones a bit easier. That's it. So we take our hands round to your left, the direction we go. So maybe the hand and the foot meets, maybe the forearm meets, elbow, maybe the tricep. It doesn't have to get there on breath 1. Take your time. By breath 5, you're just an inch deeper into it. See where the breath takes you. And focus into the movement of the breath. You're noticing the exhales, hugging the abdominals back towards the spine. Notice where you can soften into. Again, check in with the neck, the jaw, the forehead, the richness of the breath. Slowly bring yourself back up. Untangle the legs so feet come to the floor. Good. If the knees a little rock side to side. Good. So we're going to take our forest abdominals. I'll show you some people that won't have done these before. Take the twisting abs for 6 breaths. So just nice and slow, keep it at 90. I'll show you the 2 sets first. So we take a twist and one leg lengthens away. Keep it back off the floor so that we can keep that scooping down the lower belly. So first we want that sacrum, that part of the pelvis to stay connected to the ground. Okay, we're taking it to, and I'll give you some cues to make it feel really delicious over there. And the second set is Garuda legs. So legs are straight and still comfortable. Legs aren't really to go fully straight yet, that's okay. We curl the head and shoulders up. We're going to bring one foot in towards the inner thigh, like a tree pose. So you can either keep your hand pushing the foot into the leg there, so it stays connected on its own, and you keep your hand again to the back of the head. We do a curl up from there, lifting the armpits and the tailbone. And you're pushing the foot into the inner thigh, with the center trying to lift the thigh bone upwards towards the ceiling a little bit. So you create more space to allow the transverse abdominals to work strong there. So we'll just feel into it today, but it doesn't feel quite connected fully. Just kind of fake it till you make it with these kind of things sometimes. So bring the legs to 90 degrees. We activate through the toes, so we can bobby feet in this style. Push out through the balls of the feet, fan the toes back. So pushing out through the big toe, arch of the foot is active. Now drop the tailbone as with the sacrum towards the ground. So tailbone feels like it's tucking. And then curling the head and shoulders upwards. We start with them lifted, really supporting the weight of the head. So create a hammock with the head to rest into. Armpits lift towards the ceiling, so you're lifting the shoulder blades to wrap around the side ribs. Now, already feeling like there's a bit of work going on. You can take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, reach the elbows towards your left knee and push the right leg forward as far as you can. Press out through that ball of foot. Now re-tuck the tailbone again, the lower belly down. It's nice and slow, by the way. Inhale, come back to the center. As you exhale, reach the elbows across to the right side, push the left leg forwards, and then re-tuck the tailbone again, the lower belly down. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, elbows to the left side, push the right leg forwards, tuck the tailbone, and then activate through the glutes so your butt cheeks switch on. Inhale, come back to the center, make sure you're breathing. Exhale, elbows to the right side, push your head forwards, sacrum down, and squeeze on buttocks. Inhale, come back to the center, one more time either side. Exhale, elbows to the left, push right leg forwards, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, and then lift the left elbow higher so you're not leaning onto the shoulder blade. Inhale, come back to the center, last one. Exhale, elbows to the right, push the left leg forwards, tuck the tailbone, squeeze the buttocks on, and then lift the right elbow higher so you're not leaning onto that shoulder blade. Inhale, come back to the center, face the head and the feet to the floor. Take a deep breath. Did that work? So let's take this Baruga leg. So toes are going to be tucked towards the ceiling. And again, having a sense they're not quite flexed, not quite pointed, but they're fluid. So they're pushing up through the toes. Good. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, curl the head and shoulders up again. Just bring the armpits and the triceps to the ceiling. Your legs are as straight as feel comfortable with the hamstrings. Your right hand is going to reach for the right ankle and bring it down into the tree pose, gluing the sole of the foot into the left inner thigh. Good. If it can stay there on its own, replace the hand behind the head. Otherwise, make sure that left hand is still supporting both of the head. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, curl the head and shoulders higher up towards the ceiling, pull the lower belly down. Stay where you are, we'll take another breath. Inhale. Exhale, push the sole of the foot into the inner thigh, pushing it upwards, pull lower belly down. Inhale, reset, head to floor, towards the ceiling. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Left hand hits the left foot and place it against the inner thigh. And maybe it stays on its own and continue to hold if you wish to. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, armpits into the ceiling. Support the weight of the head, lift the chin away from the chest slightly. Stay where you are, breathe in. Exhale, push the foot into the leg, push it upwards, pull lower belly down. Inhale to reset. You can do one more round either side with you and rest if you wish to. Exhale, curl head and shoulders up. Right foot comes into inner thigh. Good, that's nice. Hand around the back of the head again if we can. Inhale. Exhale, armpits lift up to the ceiling. Tuck the tailbone, pull lower belly down. Stay where you are. Inhale. Exhale, push the inner thigh upwards. Lower belly down, armpits up. Inhale, reset. Last one, exhale. Head and shoulders lift. Left hand brings left foot in. Press them together, support the head. Inhale. Exhale, pressing into the leg, curl armpits upwards. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, push the foot into the leg, lift it up, pull lower belly to the floor. Inhale, reset. Then let the head come to the ground and the feet come to the floor. Awesome. Coming into bridge, so heels land in front of the sit bones. Take the arms down to the sides of the body. Take a full deep breath into the belly. As you exhale, keep the abdominal down, curl the tailbone away from the floor and rolling up towards the ceiling. Knees lengthening forwards rather than out to the sides. Lengthen through the back of the neck. Taking a couple of deeper breaths. You feel the belly still move with the breath. Each time you're exhaling, feel the lower ribs knitting in towards the abdomen. The tailbone lengthening towards the fold of the knees. Couple more breaths. Keep checking in with those tension areas of the body, like the shoulders, the neck, the jaw, the forehead. Finding this balance between the strength and the grace in your body. Energy composting. You start to feel hard, you lean into it sometimes. Sometimes uncomfortable is where we grow. In a safe position, it's uncomfortable, sometimes that's good. Really nice. So lift the hands up to the ceiling, take a deep breath in. Now keep the arms lifting, just flip the palms to face the ceiling, the fingertips facing the back of the room. Perfect. Now push the palms further up, like you're holding a heavy tray, and push it further to the ceiling. Good. Keep the hips lifting, glutes on. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, flip the hands so your fingertips reach towards your knees. You're just folding the wrist the other way. Now squeeze the fingertips together. Keep your fingers long, but just squeeze all of the fingertips to touch. So the thumb squeezes underneath, like little beaks with the hands, as though you're doing sock puppets. Inhale, flip the palms back up to the ceiling again, spread the fingers open. And as you exhale, flip the fingertips towards the knees and squeeze all of the fingertips together. Good. Inhale again, palms up, keep the hips lifted, glutes up. Exhale, fingertips towards the knees, squeeze the fingertips together, and tapping your tailbone rotated. 2 more breaths. Inhale to open the palms, spread the fingers. Exhale, fingertips to knees, squeeze them together. Last one, inhale, palms open. Exhale, squeeze the fingertips, lift the hip bones. Now this time, inhale, take the back of the hands behind you to the floor, spread the fingers out. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, keep the back of your fingertips, but roll the spine through to the floor. Bring the pelvis closer to your feet as you lengthen back to the earth. Good, lovely control. When you're there, completely relax the glutes and the back and the shoulders. Take the right foot, the right ankle onto the left side for a figure of 4. Keep the left foot on the ground to start with. Arms fingers slide around to your side so it's more comfortable on the ground. Jackie, bring the arms around a bit, that's it. And then using your right palm, just push the right thigh further away from the torso. So it's creating a bit more space in here. Having a sense that you're lifting the inner thigh upwards as you press it out. Now focus back into the movement of your breath in the abdomen. So as you're lifting the inner thigh up from the hip bone, use the breath to pull the belly down from the hip bone. You're finding space there. Good. Release the palm from the leg and then threading through the gap. So we're building more of a stretch for the glutes, which should feel pretty good after that bridge roll. Flexing the feet lightly. Good. And hugging the legs in towards you. That's it. Great. And trying to lift the shoulders back to the floor and the tailbone down to the ground. If your right elbow meets the inner thigh of the right leg, use the elbow to push the knee further over. Strengthen the arms to pull the ankle closer in. Take a full breath in. Exhale and gently release. Both feet back to the floor. And just take that through to the other side. So the left ankle to the right thigh. Keep the right foot on the floor for the first couple of breaths. The left palm is pushing the knee open, thinking inner thigh lifting up from the hip bone as you press that thigh bone away. So you're always trying to straighten the left arm so the energy runs straight through from shoulder to palm and into the leg. Focus on the movement of the breath, helping you find more space there. And maybe staying here just feels good. If you want to build into that deeper figure of 4, then bring the legs closer in, thread the hands through, so you hold the right thigh towards you. Great. And again, if your left elbow then meets the inner thigh of the left leg, use it to press the knee away from you. Hands bring the ankle towards you. Imagine your spine is being rolling pinned towards the floor, so tailbone down, shoulders go back. A really deep breath in. As you exhale, gently releasing both feet to the ground. Good. So we'll take one more bridge variation here. So grab hold of a block. And if we can, we're going to stay on the highest ledge. So actually, just bring your gaze to me a second if you can. I'm going to show you this. So coming into your bridge pose again, you all look high enough to sit the block underneath the sacrum. If it feels too high, then come onto the mid ledge. If you want to go that narrower ledge here. One option may not be, I'll give you the option for the highest ledge options, and then I'll give you the variations for more ones. So a supported bridge, similar to what we've just done, we find a figure of four, so just letting the ankle rest to the thigh and the knee just dropping out. It allows you to find more of that space here. So again, if you want to use the hands, use them to sort of lengthen the hip flexor muscle. So stay here for a few breaths and then bring into a half hero pose in the block. So your hand takes hold of the foot underneath. If it makes the foot crampy to stay on the upper side of the foot, then keep the toes tucked, or you keep the foot slightly elevated, it's fine. We're finding the foot underneath the buttocks and the knee reaches forwards, and you'll feel a pretty easy stretch through the quads and hip flexor. Okay, so find your bridge pose to start with, and I'll talk you through it just so you have a visual reference of where we're going. So come into your bridge with an exhale. You may want to come onto the tiptoes to place the block underneath. You can also do this without a block if you don't have one. Diane, do you have a block? Just wave a hand if you do. Okay, cool. Yeah, perfect, great. Okay, good, nice. So making sure it's on the sacrum, not on the spine. If you're not sure if you're in the right place, let me know. So you're not pushing into the vertebra, it's more towards the tailbone. Is that okay, Sarah? Yeah. Good. Now use the block to slightly tuck the tailbone. So lengthen that part of the back towards the knees. Good. Your right foot is going to rest onto the left thigh. You can place another block under this foot. Just let the weight of your knee drop out. So again, if your right hand can reach the thigh, you can just use your fingertips to just almost lengthen the muscle of the tissue of the muscle away from the hip bone a little further. Just pushing the thigh bone upwards. Okay, you're using the breath as you exhale to let the abdominals just soften. You can do this without the block underneath as well if that's more comfortable. It makes it a little bit harder work. Good. So then lift that foot up to the ceiling, take a breath in, and as you exhale, use the right hand to tuck the foot underneath the buttock. So you're trying to have the toenails to the floor. That makes your foot go into instant cramp, and tiptoes is fine, or you keep the hand supporting it. Good. And now try and keep that knee reaching forwards. Good. Evie, hug it into even more of a center line. Pull that right knee into center line. Good. That's it. Now, if you want a bit more here, your left knee comes in towards the chest. You're floating that one up and towards you. Yes, great. And you're thinking the knees are reaching away from each other. Good, nice. Again, can feel a bit spicy some days, so take a deeper breath. Allow it to be composted. My shoulders be on the floor. Yes. Pull them back. So press them into the floor. Might also help open the front line of the body. Lovely. Good. Place that floating foot to the ground. Reset yourself on balance if you need to. So both feet come back flat to the floor. That's it. And then changing sides when you're ready to. So your left ankle is on the right side. Good. And let the weight of the leg just drop open. If it felt good to use the hand to lift the thigh further up from the hips, and try that again. Allow the breath to come in. Turn the palms, if they're against the floor, palms to ceiling, so the shoulders can roll open and press into the back. And then lifting that foot up to ceiling, take it back in. And use the left hand to tuck the foot underneath the body, underneath the buttock. Again, toenails to the floor if you can. If it feels too uncomfortable, then either keep the foot slightly elevated with the support of your hand or toes. Knee is in the center line. Good. If you want a little bit more, that's it. Right foot comes in, knee towards the chest. So use the weight of the thigh to tuck in. Yeah, magical music, but that's okay. Let's take another deep breath in where you are. Exhale, let the foot come to the floor. So replace the left one. Good. And then press into both feet evenly. Just use that right foot. That's it. Release the block from underneath you and just take a moment with the hips staying lifted. And then controlling the back down, rolling through upper back, mid back, and lower. Brilliant, nice. So when you're safe and get back to the ground, just rocking the knees gently side to side or in any intuitive kind of movement that helps to just ease that out. Good job. If they aren't there already, bring the knees to your chest. And then taking a gentle rock and roll or roll to one side, bring yourself up to fours. So come over the knees if you can, or sweeping the legs around to one side. Palms wide to the ground. Give the hips a little sway side to side. Again, there's kind of any intuitive movement again. So probably cat-cow, which was right to. Or rolling the ribs one side to the other, or round in circles. Just moving into your back. Good. So bring the forearms to the floor, palms facing up to the ceiling. So fingernails are against the mat. Good. So your thumbs will be lifted. As you have crazy anymore. Okay. Good. Now push into the elbows to the shoulder blades, spread open, rounding your upper back. Gaze drops back towards the thighs. And tuck the toes. Take a huge breath in. And as you exhale, lift the knees up with the hips high. Keep pressing the floor away from the forearms. Keep the fingernails going to the mat. And chest reaching through the arms towards the thighs. Then let the neck relax into the air. Just dangling at the end of the spine. Elevating the sit bones upwards, and as you're exhaling, feel the lower ribs still knitting inwards. So we use that strength of the core that you cultivated at the start of the session. Again, lean into the challenge. When it gets hard, take a deeper breath. Really nice. One more deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring the knees to the floor. Good. Just fold the hips back to the heels, find the child's pose, arms just soften whatever they feel most comfortable to be. Just lengthening out that lower back. Staying where you are, take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. Coming back up towards an all fours. Now palms stay on the ground, but we drop the elbows halfway down towards dolphin. They hover in the air. This turbo dog that everyone loves so much. So elbows are hovering 2 inches off the ground. Then pull the elbows towards each other and feel that spread the shoulder blades open. So you're rounding the upper back. You're saying turbo puppy for a couple of breaths first. So the chest is dropping down, we're rounding, lifting the rib cage upwards. So you're feeling the activation around the serratus muscle where the shoulder blades are being pulled into the side ribs a little more. That's active. The neck is not active. Breathing into your back, and just feeling into that juicy activation, strength of the body. Keep the palms spread open and back to good. And then use the hands to press the weight back onto the heels. Just come to a kneeling position, either sat onto the heels or lifting up the knees if it's more comfortable. Just roll the shoulders back and taking weight off the arms for a moment. So either we're going to repeat that turbo puppy again. So I'll show you the next option on the resting. So we either stay here with knees on the floor, pushing open through shoulder blades. So this thoracic spine, your upper spine, is really open. If you want to up level it a little bit, we keep the arms pulling inwards towards each other. So if the arms pull out, the shoulder blades squeeze together. We want to open them. Lifting the knees is your next option. So your sort of downward dog legs, but turbo dog arms, and you're still trying to push forwards through the shoulder blades. So Forrest is all about that kind of wrapping the strength. So take your option. Either or is absolutely fine. If whatever feels good this morning. And sometimes just because you can do the high level doesn't mean you should necessarily or you want to today. So really whatever feels right for you right now. So turbo puppy or turbo dog, you decide in your own time. Taking about 5 breaths wherever you hold it. The neck can relax into it. You bring the shoulders forwards or knees back a bit longer. Good, Diane, relax the neck into that. Good. And if you want to. That's it, good. Rib cage hugging in. Good, you can come down after your 5 breaths. Nice one. Softening knees to the floor if they're floating. And again, just sit back to the heels. To enjoy the sense of warmth through the upper back and shoulders. Roll the head side to side and keep it nice and loose through the neck if it starts to creep up into that. So that strength that you're feeling, switching on and building, then transfers into so many different postures. All your arm balances from that sense of pushing through your back and your arms, even your downward dog, taking weight through the arms, pushing back this way rather than sinking into the shoulders here. There's all that pressing away from the floor, holding the ribs in the back. Your core strength is not just your 8-pack, that's the whole trunk of your body. So working from can we all feel everything? Yeah. Okay, you come into your full downward dog and just have this sort of awareness of the hips you've switched on. So your abdominals are gently going inwards, working from the back to support you. Spread the palms and push the floor away. Really nice. Let in the neck and relax into it because it's supported. Take a couple of deeper breaths. If you want to keep the legs swaying or paddling, feel free to bring some movement up. Now roll forward towards the plank position, taking a deep breath in. Good. As you exhale, bring the knees to the floor, gaze forwards, from the chest towards the floor, keep the hips lifting. So you're just hovering the chest just a centimetre off the mat, elbows pulling inwards, inwards, inwards. So you hug the elbows in. It's harder. Good. Then lift the knees up, lay the hips down. Come back into it. Good. So squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. Tuck the tailbone, so keep the bones pressing down, belly lifting upwards. Then try and lift into cobra from there. So let the chest look forward. So just staying nice and low into it on this first round. Press the toes into the floor. Pull the shoulders any further back away from the ears. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, imagine you're traveling forwards a little further as you come back to the ground. You'll take another cobra again. Inhale, lift the chest and we get the ribs lift. Lightly pressing into the hands to encourage a bit more space. We keep the elbows in and pulling back, so shoulders down. Again, imagine you're tucking the tailbone or trying to lift the lower belly upwards. So you decompress the spine a little. Good. Exhale, pull forwards and down to the floor. Nice. Press up to all fours again. Deep breath in. Exhale, come back into your downward dog or your turbo dog if you prefer. Good. Relaxing the neck, take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Start walking the feet up towards your hands, like a forward fold. Keeping a bend into the knees, let the arms dangle, let the head dangle. Release any sense of bracing from the abdomen or the neck. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly roll back towards standing. Keep feet hips distance apart. Split and snaky spine. Rolling up. Good. Bring the arms straight round to the sides and up. Take a deep breath in. Spread the fingers. Exhale round to the sides again and back into your forward fold. Hands either stay on the floor or the shins. Take a half lift with your left hand forwards. Exhale, soften to the leg. Step the right leg back behind you. Take the knee down to the floor. Inhale, press through the front foot, lifting the arms. Exhale, hands to the floor. Step back into the downward dog. Oh, sorry, plank position. Take an inhale. Exhale, either half or each other under. You look in half as your knees out. And then mixing up this sliding back instead of forward, so leg root back behind your belly down. Good. Activate through the back, squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest, feel imagine you're tucking the tailbone into it. Exhale, come forwards and down to the floor. Inhale, push up to all fours. Tuck the toes, downward dog, or turn over if you prefer. Left foot lifts up to the ceiling, breathe in. Exhale, step through to between the hands, but it doesn't quite yet. And use your left hand to pull it forwards, yoga block it in. Back knee to the floor. Inhale, lifting the arms up, breathing in. Exhale, hands to the floor, rock the weight backwards, bring the back foot to the top of the mat. Half lift, inhale, reaching forwards. Exhale, soften into the legs. Slowly rolling up to standing, bring the arms around and up as you rise and into straight to the other side. Exhale all the way back into fold. Half lift, inhale, lengthen forwards. Exhale, soften to the legs, left leg slips back to the ground. Push into the front foot to lift your arms, closing up, spread the fingers. Exhale, hands to the floor, step back into plank position. Strong arms, open back. Inhale. Exhale, half or full chaturanga, which will be always in noise. Inhale into cobra, active to the back, lengthen the spine. Come back to the floor, relaxing. Inhale to all fours. Exhaling back into downward dog. Pausing. Inhale. Exhale. Right leg floats high, breathing in. Exhale, step or lift it through to between the hands. Back into the floor. One rest to lift the arms up again. Exhale, hands to the floor, tuck the toes in back, rock the weight backwards, bringing up to the top of the mat. Then half lift, lengthen forward. Exhale, soften. Rolling all the way to standing, arms reaching up and back. Let's go again. Exhale into your hand. Half lift, reaching forwards. Exhale, right leg slips back and into the floor. Lifting the arms up, take a deep breath in and pausing here. Right hand is going to come down to the back of the neck. Left hand holds the elbow, half come across the arms. So pressing the palm into that space at the back of the neck between the shoulder blades and sinking the hips forwards a little way. Imagine you're tucking the tailbone again here, right into the front of the right hip. So you can switch on your right buttock and just open that so that you can tell. And then have a sense of it won't physically move necessarily, your front heel and your back knee are pulling towards each other. Activating for a little bit. And if that's just stopped you breathing, take a breath. And take another couple of breaths where you are. If you want to build into the arms, the left arm is not very much pain. You can grab all the fingers or press into that. It feels just more effective to stay where you were with the elbow and stay. Really deep breath in. As you exhale, soften out of the hips, release the hands to the floor. Good. We come back into downward dog with or without a vinyasa, so you should come straight back and pause or leading through the chaturanga and cobra if you want to do this. Maybe an upward facing dog if you're feeling good. Coming back. Lovely. When you get to your downward dog, take a really full breath. Noticing any sensational differences one side of the legs to the other. Lifting the left foot up to the ceiling, take a breath in. And exhale, step the foot through, or lift it through, and again, come back knee to the floor. Now lifting the arms up to the ceiling, either keeping the hands lifted at the chest or back into that same Forrest-Inspired again. So still the right arm round at the back, left hand underneath. Right arm on top, that's it, good. Now pausing here, take the back knee an inch further back behind you. So tuck the toes, lift the knee. Again, absolutely do pad me out if you want to. We're building arrow lunge. Your back foot is going to dig into the floor, and your front heel is going to dig into the floor. So by pushing into that front heel, you should feel your left front cheek switch on a little bit more. And keep pushing into back foot, so your back knee feels a bit lighter, or maybe even lifts off the floor. So your arrow lunge is going to be lifting, the energy is pushing back out of the toes. So it's strong, so see how it feels. Even if it just lightens, it still counts, it's still working in that right direction. Option to breathe as well. Take a deep breath in. Good, if it is lifting, place it to the floor. Well done, and unravel the arms. Good, lengthen the front leg, the hips hinge back, half Hanumanasana, half hand. And flex the toes of the front foot. So you might want to wriggle the front foot forwards a little bit. If you want to, you can curl them back. And the front leg doesn't have to straighten. It's fine with the way of feeling lengthening. Pull that thigh bone towards the hip socket a little more so the pelvis swells. Come back forwards into a lunge. Tuck the toes at the back of the knee. And again, rock the weight backwards. Bring the right foot to the top of the mat. Good. Take a half lift as you breathe in. Exhale, soften towards the legs. Let's go straight to the other side. So left leg steps back. Take the knee to the floor. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Good. And either hands lifting, hands at hearts, or the Forrest-Inspired arms again. So left arm is at the top and drops down, and the right arm comes behind, or holds elbow. Okay, got any kind of options that feel good. Good. Now tucking the tailbone, open out the hip, press the hips forwards. And energetically pulling the heel and the back knee towards each other. Feeling so a nice deep opening of the hip flexor. One more deep breath in where you are. Exhale, gently unravel the hands. Coming back into downward dog with or without a vinyasa. Either pausing it down dog in your feet there, or roll it forward if you want to. Good, lovely. When you come to your downward dog or turbo dog, take a deep breath in. Full breath out. Right leg lifts to the ceiling, inhale. Exhale, step or lift it through between the hands. So stay back knee to the floor again. Again, same options with arms, either above you, at the chest, or the Forrest-Inspired with the left arm down, right arm back and behind. Good. So this time building into arrow lunge, so sinking hips forwards. Press into the back foot. Keep that strength of the lower belly that you switched on, lifting in. So we're not dropping into the lower back. Good, now push the front heel into the floor. Feel the right buttocks switch on to support you. As you dig the back foot into the floor, feel how the back knee maybe just lightens or shifts or lifts away from the ground. Use the strength of the front leg to support you. Good, take a breath in. Exhale, knee to the floor. Gently releasing hands down and hinge it back to lengthen the front leg. Hanumanasana. And wriggle the front toes forwards a little and curl the toes upwards. That's it. Keeping that little bend into the knee. And big thigh bone pulling back towards the hip. Get nice and deep into that hamstring. Soften where you can. Check in with those tension points again. Come back forwards into lunge, tuck the toes, lift the back knee, rocking backwards, bring the back foot. Take a half lift as you inhale. Exhale, soften into the fold, and then just pausing here. Little bend in the knees if it feels more comfortable. You can hold the opposite elbows. Those of you that are a bit deeper in the hamstrings, you can hold the elbows but behind the calf muscle if you want to. And same thing, then you use your hands on the elbows to pull the elbows closer to the heels. Good. Soften any sense of bracing around the elbow. Long neck. Shoulders lifting away from the ears. Slow down the breath. Bring your hands to the front of the shins if they're behind, or place them onto shins half length, bending forwards, long spine. Exhale, soften into the legs, and then just step your feet back so you come straight into a downward dog. Your right foot is going to float towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, the knee towards your nose, come forward with the shoulder, pause there. So curl the knee to nose, nose to knee, and push even more through the arms. So armpits are lifting high, hips down, a little further towards the plank sort of shape. Feel strong through the arms. Good. Inhale again, lift the toes back up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, stay in position. Knee to the nose to the knee, forward with the shoulders. From here, your ankle is going to hook onto the left side. You can do this on forearms if you want to do here. And just do ankle to shin. Good, so like that figure of four shape. Good. So pushing that knee towards the back of the room, anchoring the left heel towards the floor. Take a breath in. As you exhale, come to pigeon. So get your chin to adjust your back a little bit. So that the knee comes forwards towards the right wrist. Well done, foot towards the left. And then send the back leg away. We're going to twist towards your front foot. So arms rather than going forwards, are going to come around to the left. And then forearms to the floor. So the heel of the foot is under the belly. Those going to go a bit deeper. Use your left hand to encourage the foot a little further forwards, as long as it doesn't bring any pinch into your knee. Encourage it a little further out. So the full pose of the foot will be under the sternum of your chest. Yes, that's it. But it's a slightly different position for everyone's anatomy. You will feel quite different. So if it brings any pain to your knee, ease right back out of it again. One of those ones that feels uncomfortable. Uncomfortable is okay, but pain is not. That's it. If you want to, we bring the H to the B, the Forrest variation, heel to the butt. So left hand holds the foot and brings it in. If that makes your hamstring cramp up or feels horrendously uncomfortable, then just forget that bit. Take a deep breath in. If you have the foot, gently release it back. Get hands to the floor under the shoulders, lift the chest. Come back into your downward dog or turbo dog. Draw through the upper back a little. Paddle through the feet. Just kind of ease it out, ease out through the legs. Balance and back again. And when you're ready, left foot is going to go to the ceiling. Keep the palms spread open. Good. Exhale, bring the knee underneath towards your nose towards the knee. Travel the shoulders forwards and stronger push through the arms so the armpits are lifting. Inhale, send the toes back up to the ceiling. Moving in. Exhale again, knee to nose to knee, pushing through the arms. Lovely, good. And then taking the ankle back onto the thigh. It's great. Hips high, push through the arms. So push the knee towards the back of the root, even more. You can push them back. Good. Hips lifting high, lower belly bring in, supporting you. Take a softer breath. The breath is thinking it's nice and easy. Bring the shin forwards for pigeon. Adjust it as you need to. The back leg slides away, so your bottom closer to the floor. Bring the arms around towards the right as you ease into it. Allow the forehead to fall towards the ground. And again, you can make any adjustments if you need to. So if you want to bring the foot further forward, so foot is more under the chest, will feel deeper, and more under the groin will feel easier. So you make any adjustments you need to. Bring the attention back to the movement of your breath. If you want to bring H to the D, your right hand brings the foot in towards the buttock. And that quad, another little bit of juice. Good. Just a couple of breaths and then re-release it again. Well done. Bring the hands back under the shoulders. This time sit down into your left thigh. Sorry, I'm mixing it up. Bring the back leg around in front of you so you're seated. Good. Just lean back into the palms, feet flat to the ground, and just give the knees a rock one side to the other. So while your gaze is forward, I'll just show you as we did before. A little bit like we did at the start, so much more restorative feeling. We've got is going to come under the pelvis, but on the flattest ledge. And from there, we're just going to bring one knee towards chest and the other leg reaches out. Okay, so come on down to your back, placing the block underneath the sacrum. And use the block to gently tuck the tailbone. Bring the left knee in towards the chest. Hands around the shin. And slide the right leg away. The right leg can either be active and floating, or just heavy and drop into the floor, just wherever feels good. Winding down. So just take what feels right to do to bring a sense of easing your body. Long through the back of the neck and slow, easy breaths. Softening tension from the jaw, the forehead, throat space. And whenever it feels right to you, change sides. Take your time, adjust it as you need. Then your floating leg can either be active or passive. Bring both feet gently to the floor. Just press into the feet to lift yourself off the block of the outer side, and then roll the spine back into the ground. Just pressing through the feet so the hips lift and pop over to the left side of the mat of the inches. And the knees drop over to the right, so this just feels a little bit easier in the back. So hips to the left, knees to the right. And then if you place your right hand onto the upper knees, you might need to tuck the knees further round towards you to reach. Good. Keep the shoulders to the floor, so left arm stays down. And then press the palm and the upper knee. So carrying the right hand on the upper knee. That's it. Push them together a little bit. So again, build a bit of activation into it. And you can use that as a bit of a lever for the left side of your rib cage to come towards the floor. If that doesn't quite make sense in the body, then don't worry about it too much. Sarah, can you lengthen that left one out? Palm open, yeah. Try and tuck the left shoulder blade down the back of the ribs a little more, so armpit is facing the ceiling. Stay where you are, take a breath in. And as you exhale, bring the knees back up through the center. Shift the pelvis over to the right side and knees down to the left. Again, tuck the knees around far enough so your left hand can connect to the upper knee. Good. Right arm extending out to the side, palm open, armpit is facing the ceiling. Good. Now press the left hand into the upper knee to switch on the twist a bit more. And then again, using that as a leverage for the right side of your ribcage to open around your ground. Great. And let the breath move into that. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bring the knees back up to the center. Pelvis back center, just realigning everything. Give anything a little wriggle or a rock or a squeeze if you need to. Just take anything else you need to do. And then bring yourself into any variation of the Shavasana. So either eyes flat to the ground. If you want to have one of the blocks under either thigh, so a bit of support for the legs, you can do. It can be flat or knees bent, whatever feels good to you. Shoulder blades just nudging down the back. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other. There's still tension around the face. Maybe just stretch the mouth open wide, stick the tongue out like a lion's breath, and let everything go floppy. And then without trying to manipulate the breath in any particular way, just noticing the breath moving through the nose. Allow the work that you have done in practice to have created more space for the breath to move into. Notice how it moves into the body, where it moves into the body. Taking a slower, deeper breath, a little bit more consciously breathing. Starting to move into your body a little bit through the hands, the feet, anything that feels easing. And then when it feels right to bend the knees, bring the feet either to the floor or into your chest. Roll yourself over to one side, just taking a moment on your side. Using the hands to press you to a comfortable seated position. You're going to take just a couple of rounds of Nadi Shodhana breath to rebalance at the end. So your left hand is resting onto the back of the knee, to the knees. Index finger connects to the thumb, and the other three fingers stay quite active, representing 3 stages of consciousness: your awake state, dreaming state, and deep sleep. Your right hand comes towards you, your index finger curls in, your ego represented, and the center finger also, your intellect. So we keep them out of the equation. So then your thumb will close the right nostril and take an inhale through the left. Close both nostrils, hold the breath, bring the focus to the center of the forehead. And then open the right nostril, exhale. Stay as you are, inhale through the right. Close both nostrils, hold the breath, focus to the center of the forehead. If you know how to apply the bandhas, lifting Mula Bandha up with that passage of pelvic. And open the left to exhale. Stay as you are, inhale through the left. Closing both nostrils, hold the breath with Kumbhaka. Focus to the space of the third eye, lifting the face, Mula Bandha, upwards. Open the right nostril, exhale. Stay as you are, inhale through the right. Closing both nostrils, hold the breath, Kumbhaka. Gaze lifting, Mula Bandha lifting. Closing the Jalandhara Bandha in the throat, so that nothing passes through the throat, blocking the energy. Open the left nostril, exhale. And just releasing that hand to the knee, that the mudra is relaxed, the hand is soft. Take a deep breath in. And a full breath out. And then a soft breath in. Soft breath out. Bring the hands to the heart center. Take a deeper breath in. Exhale, bowing the head to your hands, to your wonderful selves, to your energy composting complete. Namaste, ladies. Thank you. Well done. Thank you, Diane. Thank you.